Good morning, good morning, good morning, good people. Today is Tuesday, November 18th, 2025. Ugh. 12 days until this month is over, and then it's December. Wow, we are on the backside, the downhill side of November. And Maticus von Atticus is with us already. Probably got a good night's sleep. So here we are. Today is day number 2 in week 3, day 2, week 3, or if you're from Pahrump or Pahrump, you'll say week 3, day 2. Week 3, day 2, or day 2, week 3, you choose. Outside my skull-sized kingdom. Once again, our goal is to find people who can help us on our journey, our adventure. We want to bond with them, which means we see the world the same way they see the world. We want to bond with them and have some symbiosis, synergy, synchronicity, etc. Some syllogismism. It's almost like anti-disestablishmentarianism, whatever that means. Okay, but here we are. Here we are today on Tuesday, a rainy day out there. You can hear the rain coming in through the windows, splattering on the ground, bouncing off the roof, etc. Our theme of today is the tribes we lead, which is also the title of Seth Godin's TED Talk today. And that's how important it is on our journey. Yesterday, we learned about you want to start getting some people to help you on your journey. Simple. Join a tribe, nudge it forward. Join a tribe. What's a tribe? A tribe is people like us, people who do things. People like us do things like this. So the people who do things like this are people like us. Join a tribe and nudge it forward. Nudging it forward is getting them to go someplace other than where they were going. You are leading them. Now you want to lead them to help you, and helping you could be helping the tribe. In other words, your mission is to make the tribe better. So Dave Logan says, join a tribe, nudge it forward. Today, we start focusing on the nudging forward part, because we're in all kinds of tribes. How do you nudge it forward? That is the question. That is the question. Whether 'tis nobler to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take up arms against a sea of troubles and by opposing end them. Right. To be or not to be? That is the question. So, how do we nudge it forward? Seth Godin gives us a 4-step formula, which we'll come to in a minute. But first, advice from an 80-year-old. Give people a second chance and a third, etc. Don't write people off. Or as I say, I don't believe in writing people off. Does that mean I won't? No, it just means I don't believe in it. Sometimes I do things I don't believe in. All right. Seth Godin, the tribes we leave. Tribes we lead. Seth's blog. Kinds of value. Which is worth more? Kind of Blue from Miles Davis or the third Boston album? It depends on your taste. I hope we can agree, though, that the fact that Miles spent 4 days on this album and Tom spent 8 years on his is irrelevant. Sometimes we buy the story of inconvenient creation, the carrots at the farmer's market, or a handcrafted piece of pottery is worth more because we know the focus and care that went into the creation of an item. But software isn't worth more when it's hand-coded, and WhatsApp didn't get acquired for billions of dollars because they had thousands of employees. On the other hand, when British Petroleum paid Lander millions for a new logo, the meeting and effort and deniability were part of what we're paying for. The Nike logo isn't powerful because they spent a lot of time or money on it. ... Freelancers are close to their work, and it's easy to tell ourselves that what we sell is our effort. That's an error. There's rarely a correlation between effort and value. There we go. That is the key. We're going to talk more about that. Even if you charge by the hour, you're not selling hours. You're selling something clients can use. Clients will pay more for something useful than something that was difficult. Okay. Now, there's a huge value in that. There's rarely a correlation between effort and value. You're not selling hours. Too many people who don't provide value think they're selling hours. I spent a lot of time on this. Yeah, but what was produced? Nothing. What does that say? Does it say you're not good? Does it say if the task is impossible? What does it say? I think the question is, okay, what do we do about people who say, let's see, freelancers are close to their work, and it's easy to tell ourselves what we sell is our effort. It's easy to tell ourselves that what we sell is our effort. That's an error. So what do you say to somebody who says, I sold you my effort? I sold you my effort. No, I'm not interested in your effort. I'm interested in your results. Aha. So if somebody says, I'm spending all this time doing this. Okay, what are the results? What are the results? What are the results of your efforts? That is the question. What are the results of your efforts? Okay, I'm thinking about a lot of other things right now. That was a good one. Thank you, Seth Godin. Now, where are we at? We are at, oh, good, 8 minutes. All right. So let's try to break this down. Let's try to break this down because this is an important one today. The best way to get people to want to join your merry band is if you bond with them. The most common way is if you pay them. And today, more and more people think, I will give you my time for this period of time, but I'm not going to give you my heart. I'm not going to give you my soul. I'm just going to give you my time, and then I'm going to take what I exchange for my time, i.e. money, to do what I want to do. I'm only working for you because I get money to do what I want to do. And that's okay. Unless you need people that actually care about what you're trying to do. So tomorrow we'll see Simon Sinek talking about if you hire people who will work for money, that's what you're going to get. People who will work for money. And they're always evaluating. how much of me do I sell for my time? Versus other people will take the position, if I'm going to do a thing, I'm going to do the best I can, regardless of what I get out of it, what I get paid. Unless that's the expectation. You know, if the expectation is, I don't really need you to do a lot, I just need you to show up, then all I need to do is show up. If somebody says, I need you to carry the day, then that's showing up at a different level. So what we want to do is we want to bond with people. If we bond with people, what does that mean? It means we see the world the same way. It's like glue. It's like if you're in an fMRI machine, people are looking, you're in a machine, I'm in a machine, and there's a monitor that we're looking at. Somebody in a room somewhere can see my brain activity and your brain activity and compare the two, or maybe they're overlapped. If you're bonded and you see the world the same way, that will be reflected in your neural activity. Has to be. It has to be. If people see the world the way you see it, and you see something as a good idea, how are they going to see it? They're going to see it as a good idea also. They're also going to see it as a good idea. So, how do you do that? How do you get them to bond with you? That is the question. That's another question. All right. But in Seth Godin's TED Talk, he breaks it down into 4 ways to get people to see the world the way you see it. 1, you have to find something to change. If you're going to nudge the group forward, you have to find something to change. 2, you need to tell a compelling story. 3, you have to connect with the true believers and ignore the non-true believers More on that in a second. And 4, you need to lead them. It's not enough to get people to say, I'm with you. You actually got to take them with you. Okay, so let's go back to the beginning. Find part of the status quo to change. The status quo is the way things are. Find part of the way things are to change. How do you do that? Observation. Ask other people, hey, what sucks around here? What could we improve? What is holding us back? What are the choke points? Figure it out. Oh, that's the thing to change. Okay, now we need to tell a compelling story. Great. We're going to focus on that tomorrow. So we're going to just leave it at tell a compelling story. 3, connect the true believers and ignore the non-true believers. This is a big problem for a lot of people because they take the non-believers they give them too much weight. So instead of saying, oh, okay, you don't agree with me? Okay, cool. Or you don't play with me? Okay, well, you're an idiot, but that's okay. You're entitled to your opinion no matter how stupid it is. That, instead of, okay, let me show you why I'm right and you're wrong. It's not worth the time and energy and effort to do that. Why? Well, besides the fact that you probably won't be successful in changing someone's mind, the unintended consequence could be people who were on your side, people who were initially with you, change sides or decide to step back because they either say, like, well, I actually agree with the other position better, or, man, this guy sucks at persuading people that he's right. So don't do it. Just go on to the next person. Instead of trying to change people's minds, which is very difficult, instead of trying to do that, the better thing to do is go talk to more people. It's a numbers game. Yeah, that's true. It's a numbers game. But instead of spending more hours fishing, it would be better to fish where the fish are. spend time figuring out, well, where are the fish? What are the fish interested in? And I'll go to where the fish are. Right. Okay. Next, lead them. Lead them. Then is where you tell them what you're going to do and how you're going to do it. Back on step 3, connect the true believers. That's how do you do that? That's as easy as saying, as we're going to see on Saturday with Jerry McGuire, who's coming with me? You'll lay out the compelling story and you say, who's coming with me? That's how easy it is to do step 3, connect the true believers. The hard part is when somebody says, well, I think you're wrong, is to say, well, let's discuss why I'm wrong. Instead of doing that, Seth Godin proposes to say, well, okay, you're entitled to your opinion. Great, super. And this isn't for everyone. This is only for some people. Next. Well, I think that might be it for that. So today, why is today important? Today is very important because for our lives, as part of our journey, we need to bond with people. We need people to see the world the way we see it. So if you're the kind of person that likes wearing filthy clothes and looking disheveled and looking like someone who doesn't have their act together, someone that's not worth spending time with, if that's how you choose to be, you will attract people who are attracted to people like that. Unfortunately, the kind of people who are like that are not interested in being around other people. They're interested in being that way. So you never really form a tribe. It's just you, as David Logan says, they sever ties with other tribes. They don't pool together and form a tribe. They're just a bunch of people out there on their own who aren't part of a tribe. Why? Because they don't do the things that are need to do to bond with people. Their version of how do we change the status quo is not compelling. It doesn't lead to somewhere good. Yeah, that's the problem. Is it hard to change? Well, it could be, but it doesn't have to be hard to change. And on Hallow this morning, the question was, are you a giver or a taker? When you meet people, is the first thing you think of is, what can I get from this person? Can I get an introduction? Do they have money? Do they have this? Do they have that? What is it they're bringing to me? What is it that I can add to my collection with this person? Is that your first thinking, or is your first thinking, what can I bring to them? If you are a taker, then okay, I'm not really sure to talk about that. If you're a giver, you join a group and you say, how can I help? What can I do to make your life better? If you're a taker, you say things like, what can you do to make my life better? How do I get from you what I want so my life is better? Probably a not good combination is people who are takers join together. Can two takers bond? Probably if they say, let's work together to take from them, from everyone else. Well, I know you, you know me, we're takers. Instead of me trying to take from you and you trying to take from me, how about if we both try to take from them? Okay, that could work. Probably not well, though. Now, if we're both givers, we can give to each other. That's love, according to Thomas Aquinas, right? Willing the good of the other for the other. I want your life to be better. I want you to be happy. I want you to be successful. I want you to gain the things. That works. Taker and giver, probably common, not really sustainable. Hedonic adaptation, but it's over time. So we're going to say and cut,